So good afternoon, and thank you for having me and hosting such an important conference and such an important week of events, well, weeks of events. I'm looking forward to watching all of them. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Farah Koutteineh. I'm the founder of KEY48, and today I'm going to be speaking on behalf of KEY48 as well as the My Return campaign. So both of these campaigns, both of these movements require an interactive response from everybody watching. And I'll go into more detail about the interactive response in a few moments. So I'm going to begin by introducing KEY48. So KEY48 is a student-created initiative calling for the end of Israel's military occupation, an end to Israel's military blockade of Gaza, and calling for the right of return for all Palestinian refugees. The campaign culminates in wearing the key, in wearing KEY48. This is KEY48 right here. The key simultaneously calls for these demands whilst also wearing one of the most, if not the most, important symbols to Palestinians, the key of return. During the ethnic cleansing and colonization of Palestine that took place in order to create modern-day Israel, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians became refugees. The majority of these refugees fled, leaving everything behind except one thing, the key to their homes, on the belief that one day they would return, and they will return. Today, Palestinian refugees still keep the keys to their homes and pass down their key to the next generation in the hope that they will be the generation that returns to Palestine. Today, there are over 7.2 million Palestinian refugees, the majority living in refugee camps displaced within Palestine itself, either under Israeli military occupation in the West Bank or under illegal Israeli military blockade in Gaza, or they're refugees in the surrounding countries around Palestine living in impoverished refugee camps such as Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and these refugee camps are completely unfit for human habitation. Palestinian refugees in these host countries are treated like second-class citizens. They're not allowed to vote, they're not allowed to own property, they're banned from working in most professions, and they're forced to live displaced and in poverty. By wearing KEY48, we are calling for the immediate right of return for all Palestinian refugees, as legally enshrined in UN Resolution 194, UN Resolution 3236, and also Article 13 of the Declaration of Human Rights. Now, to go on from KEY48 to the My Return campaign. So the My Return campaign is a popular voluntary initiative launched by the London-based Palestinian Return Centre in cooperation with national and international pro-Palestine partners. The campaign was first launched in Jordan in cooperation with the Palestine Committee in the Jordanian Parliament. The campaign culminates in a petition that calls for and reaffirms the Palestinian right of return. The campaign seeks to turn such an inalienable Palestinian right into an international cause. The campaign seeks to garner the largest number of possible signatures on a petition confirming Palestinian refugees' devotion to their right of return. The petition clearly states that it rejects the US deal of the century and any other initiative undermining Palestinians' internationally guaranteed rights. Israel and the US have never ceased to undermine such an inalienable Palestinian right by denying the refugee status of displaced Palestinians inside and outside occupied Palestine. The US President Donald Trump's recognition of occupied Jerusalem as Israel's capital, the campaign waged by Israel and the US against UNRWA, the US suspension of its funding to Palestinian refugees, and the increasing calls to resettle the refugees in destinations other than Palestine are all tactics which, though seemingly divergent, all aim for the same goal, which is undermining the right of return. The right of return will never be negotiated away or used as a bargaining chip. So the campaign is based on individual signatures on the My Return petition through its official website, which is www.myreturn.net. And I'm going to show you quickly how to get onto that. So the petition reads as follows. My right of return to my homeland is an inalienable and individual collective right guaranteed by international law. Palestinian refugees will never yield into the alternative homeland projects. Any initiative that strikes at the intrinsic foundations of the right of return and negates it as illegitimate and null does not represent me in any possible manner. So I'm just going to show you how to get onto this website. So it is www.myreturn.net. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how you can sign the My Return campaign petition. I'm just going to share the screen with you. So here is the My Return campaign webpage, the homepage, and it's literally just www.myreturn.net, and you can choose from the top bar which language. The website's in 3 different languages: Arabic, English, and Spanish. And here is the declaration. So you're agreeing to this declaration when you sign. We already have over 500,000 signatures. So all you simply have to do, I've already pre-filled it in, is you just put your name, your email, where you're currently living now, your place of origin in Palestine, and then a signature. I did this on my my computer, that's why it's a bit dodgy. And then you just click sign now. And here we go. You just have to go to your email and then just confirm, and you'll receive a certificate. Okay, so once you've signed, you can also find out more about KEY48 on our social media. What KEY48 does is very much about informing the misinformed, and we create accessible ways to learn more about the Palestinian right of return, to learn more about the Palestinian refugee population. So you can find our social media. It's at KEY48 Return on Instagram, and then it's at KEY48 on Facebook and on Twitter. We also we do a lot of giveaways with KEY48. We're not a brand. We're not, looking to make a profit from it. We give the keys away, and we do a lot of accessible giveaways. And if you do sign the My Return campaign petition, and you will be emailed a certificate, if you screenshot that certificate and you DM at KEY48 Return on Instagram or at KEY48 on Twitter or on Facebook, then we will send a KEY48 to you, and we will mail it to you wherever you are in the world. Also, if you want to learn more about the right of return, the reason why Israel denies Palestinians their right of return, you can check out KEY48's social media. So our social media is at KEY48 Return on Instagram and at KEY48 Facebook and on Twitter. And we post a lot of information, facts, very accessible ways to learn more about the Palestinian right of return. So that's it from me. Just want to say thank you to all the organizers for hosting this very incredible event. I'm very honored to be a part of it, and hope you all have a lovely evening, and free Palestine.